What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, some free agency news here from the team. The Colts have released defensive tackle Raekwon Davis. This move frees up $6.5 million in cap space for 2025. Raekwon Davis had 30 tackles while playing 30% of the defensive snaps in 2024. This number would put the Colts at just over 40 million, more around 41 million after all things considered. Cody, your reaction to Raekwon Davis being cut?
I think, Derek, this was the most obvious move that needed to happen was Raekwon Davis. I mean, what an absolute disappointment and dud free agent last year. I mean, he barely played any snaps. We know he really didn't even play hardly at the beginning of the year. He missed a good chunk of training camp because of the high blood pressure stuff. Like, it was just all this stuff with Raekwon Davis. And when he got on the field, he was pretty terrible. So you signed him to a multi-year deal. He was a big disappointment. I mean, this was probably the move of all of them that made the most sense. That was going to probably inevitably going to happen here for the Colts because Raekwon Davis was an absolute waste of a roster spot a year ago. I mean, everybody outside of the starters in that defensive interior just absolutely putrid a year ago. So, yeah, I mean, this is a move that needs to happen, Derek. We obviously have talked about how the Colts, needed to open up some more cap space, and this was the one that I think made the most sense here. I will be curious how the Colts do address it when it comes to this position and some of the backup guys because Grover and DeForest Buckner are not getting any younger, so I'm curious what the Colts plan is there to, supplement those guys when they need it because right now they don't really have anybody currently under contract that really makes a lot of sense for them. So I will be interested to see, do they go via free agency? Do they go try to find a guy or two in the draft? What's going to happen there? But, we'll talk about that at a later time. But, yeah, in regards to Raekwon Davis, this is a move that needed to happen. Just made too much sense for the Indianapolis Colts. And, potentially with some of the moves that might be incoming here in the next few days, I mean, they need to open up any unnecessary, guys that don't need to be on this roster for the long term. So, yeah, I am totally good with this move. Don't feel bad about it at all. And best luck to Raekwon Davis, but glad that he's not a Colt anymore. I'll just say that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this was one of the few moves that Ballard made last offseason, and it just never really worked out. Like you said, just missed more time than he was worth. And this definitely is now a sign that the Indianapolis Colts are going to have to figure out the interior of their defensive line because right now they don't really have anyone. Taven Bryan's not getting re-signed, and Raekwon Davis is now being released. So now you don't really have any interior defensive line help. Good thing is it's a very deep interior defensive line class this year for the draft. There's definitely going to be some names in the free agency that you can look for. You're just going to have to get some kind of bodies there. But yeah, it definitely was a move that needed to be made. He was not worth the money that you were paying him. And all things considered, not very surprised. But like I said, guys, not much more to go into it other than that. But yeah, the Colts make their first release that we have seen.
You know what's funny? This was the only notable move for Chris Ballard last offseason.
Yeah, outside of Flacco.
What an absolute joke of an offseason 2024 was. Oh, my gosh, dude.
It's terrible.
Just
it better be more this year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
He better have learned his freaking lesson, man.
Literally.
That's unbelievable.
Right. Well, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let us know your thoughts on this. Thank you so much. And as always,